Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. We're here with Fred Roumbanis with everyone from Jackson and Avery. See, I got it right this time. You have to practice. That's what you have to do if you ever have a podcast show. But actually, Fred was on the show before, and I think just Jackson was on it, right?
Yep.
But
now, we got the third wheel. We got Avery.
So we're going to start with greatest catches ever in your history of fishing. We're going to start with you, and we're going to work our way down. So maybe it was the biggest fish or the biggest stringer. What would it be?
Well, I mean, it's obvious. The greatest catch was my wife, Julie. So I could have these two boys, right?
Oh, my gosh. He is scoring all kinds of points right now.
I just earned a week of free fishing.
Wow. That's awesome.
Chores.
That's awesome. Until you get home and your grass is up to the knee.
Yeah, she does say she has 3 kids, 3 boys. So anyway,
right.
no, my biggest, greatest fish catch. It's funny because I really don't know the size of this fish. Now, I was 12 years old and I was fishing off a dock and I threw a black and blue jig with a green pork rind.
Right.
And I caught a giant bass. And I had my old Larry Nixon Team Daiwa rod reel combo. It was cool. And it was on 12-pound line, and I brought it up to the ranger station at this Lafayette Reservoir in California where I grew up. And all they had to weigh it was a little spring scale that dropped down to 12 pounds.
Right.
And we put it up there, and it dropped right down to 12 pounds. So they gave me 12-pound lake record at the time.
Right.
And, it was on a little Polaroid photo. They just printed it out right there and then put it on the little
on the bulletin board.
Yeah, and stick a tack in it. Lake record, new lake record caught. Well, it's a special fish because it really got my drive and passion into fishing and wanting, it was cool. Like, you accomplished something at a young age and everyone's just like, oh my gosh, you see that big fish? It just made you feel good, like you won a big tournament, And it kind of instilled where I'm at now, making bass fishing not just a dream, but a reality. So now looking back on it, I do have this, if you guys look at my Instagram account, it's like the first photo pinned. And you guys can judge the size of it. Looking at it, I've caught plenty of 12. I weighed a 13 in a tournament one time, and I can tell you it's bigger than that. So you guys can make your own judgment on it. I can tell you it's a minimum of 12 pounds, but I'm thinking it's probably closer to 15.
Wow. That takes us up to Jackson, who Jackson also got to go to Zimbabwe.
I did get to go to Zimbabwe. Yeah.
So great big, what we learned, what we'd say were crawdads were down
huge.
there.
Yeah,
but what's your biggest bass that you ever caught?
That's a hard one. My biggest bass, probably 7 3/4 to 8 pounds. I've caught a bunch in that range, or a couple in that range, not a bunch.
Right.
I've caught a bunch around 6 3/4 to 7 pounds, but I've caught 3 or 4 probably closer to 8.
Right.
The other day I was fishing, my second Toyota Series ever at Sam Rayburn. It was March 1st or something like that. And I'm running the first day. I have 16 pounds, 17 pounds. Nothing great, but it had me in the mix to make the final day. Second day, I'm kind of struggling. Caught a 5 right off the bat and then nothing to go with it. So I'm at 14, 15 pounds. And it's getting close to the end of the day. I run in the back of some creek that I honestly thought was 5 fingers. It was called Norris.
Right. Yep.
And I'm like, man, all right. Well, I know historically there's been a lot of big fish caught. I go look down on live scope, and there's just one giant sitting down there. Drops straight down on his head. He comes up slowly, hits it, and I'm like, oh, it's a big catfish. Comes up, wallers, and I'm like, oh, that's the one, and it was a 7-11. So that's now my biggest I've caught in the tournament. But I know the more I fish out of state and whatnot, I'm going to get a big one before long.
That's right. And Avery, what's your biggest bass?
So it's a 6-pound smallmouth.
Wow, a smallmouth, 6 pounds. So you had traveled with your dad up somewhere, hadn't you?
Yes, sir.
What lake? Do you remember?
Lake Ontario.
Ontario.
Oh, Ontario. Has he ever taken you to Lake Champlain? That's a phenomenal place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Champlain. And is he taking you to Minnesota, to La Crosse?
Yeah.
You remember that?
La Crosse.
When he was up there and he was saying all kinds of words that he's not supposed to say. Because that place is full of rocks and sandbars.
Sandbars.
Oh,
it's a lot like home.
Do you have your own boat or kayak?
I do not have my own boat or kayak, but
Oh, really?
we do have kayaks that I fished out of.
All right.
So
Yeah, he
it's
pretty
funny
much has his
because he just last week, I'm gonna interrupt this a little bit here because we got a funny story here. Last week, right after we worked the Bassmaster Classic Expo, we came home and we've had these kayaks for a few years since Jackson has been fishing some of the tournaments back a few years ago before we got into the bass boat. Anyway, we decided to go kayaking. We're like, let's go kayaking. So we went out there, and I had actually hooked into a little tiny one, flipped my kayak, and lost my rods, and I'm in the water wallering, and I'm hearing him screaming and hollering, and he had actually caught his PB largemouth simultaneously as I flipped my kayak. So he's over there hollering. It's got all the attention over there, and that was what, 4.5, 5 pounds, something like that.
Wow.
And I'm
You're drowning.
I'm drowning. Well, we wore life jackets. We were smart.
Were you on Darnell?
No.
Oh,
Luckily, we were in a pond not too far away. But yeah, we went back. And then Jack, he's going to tell you that was his biggest bass. But I cast a few years ago. Do you remember that one he caught in the pond across the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught.
Yeah, he caught one
that
just
was pushing 8 pounds. I don't know. Was it 7.15 or something like that? If I'm not
7.13.
7.13.
Wow.
But
and it had a big old yellow tag in the back. And I made him let it go before we looked at it, and it would have been $200.
no, it could have been a boat. They said because Phoenix that year.
See,
with,
he's got a better
Florida,
memory of you letting him make
it was a
him let it
It was a
go.
minimum of $300, and it could have been
Wow.
up to a boat. So I'm like,
I like
that
to play
sucks.
it down a little bit because it was my fault. Right? So just go ahead and let it go.
So do you have a boat?
I do have a boat. Yeah, I have
Your own
my-
boat?
well,
Fiberglass?
My dad's
Kinda.
backup boat, kinda. So
Yeah.
Is it a Phoenix?
It is a Phoenix. It's a Phoenix
Dang,
XE. So
really?
I'm
With
very
Miller
blessed.
Tech batteries?
Miller Tech batteries.
Uh-huh.
Got to run the best, and it's decked
Right.
out.
And Garmin units?
Garmin units. I got a
Who's
few
better?
of those.
I hate to interrupt you, but who's better at live scope fishing?
It's-
Avery or Jackson or your dad?
Probably Avery. I mean, in the
Really?
least amount of time that he's up there, he catches fish.
Wow.
But
percentages cast to
yeah.
catch, right?
he'll go sit down, and then he'll get up and go, "Oh, that's a fish." Cast over there and catch it, and then that'll be his 3 casts of the day. And then
Oh, well, that's high.
No, he's been fishing.
he has been.
We get up there, and we had a little tournament the other day, the 3 of us
Oh.
out there. We were up there and throwing some bladed jigs and some Bill Lewis rattle traps.
Yep.
And he caught quite a few. So they both made Dad look silly.
Silly.
Yeah,
Because they're more used to it.
But they did win a youth tournament. Now here's the funny thing too. So they also
Right.
fished the Arkansas Youth Bass
Yeah,
Hogs.
I saw that.
And I've been captain 2 of the events, and they finished second in both of them.
Wow.
Which I like to say they had a good captain.
Right.
They had a better captain when Mom fished 2 of them with them because
She needs to run through the screen.
Julie needs to
right
run
here.
through the screen. Go wave,
Like
right
wave
through
to
the
him.
screen. Wave
Here
through
she
the screen.
comes. Now, you can't see her on.
Yeah.
You can't see her
Yeah.
on the podcast, so you see her on YouTube.
She's captain
Yeah.
twice for these boys, and they won
Yep.
both times.
Really?
So
That's pretty awesome. When did your dad first let you drive the boat by yourself? How old were you?
I was 15 years old. We had a aluminum boat called the Illuminati. It was pretty sweet.
I think I'd seen that boat.
You probably did, yeah. When
Yeah,
you were
I
here.
think I saw that
Yeah,
boat.
yeah.
You were fixing it up when
Yep,
I was
yep.
down there doing it.
It was sweet. Center console aluminum boat. You can get into like any water you wanted to with that. We ran that around for a while, and then it wasn't really I don't know. It didn't work out too much for the bigger tournaments.
it's not
you
too
know, if I-
seaworthy.
Yeah, if I got to go make a 30-minute run in a bass boat, it's never happening in that boat. On the river, in the river, that's usually what we're running to go catch some fish. So
I gotcha. And have you got to drive the boat by yourself without anyone in
No.
the boat? No. How old are you?
13.
Oh, 13?
See,
Oh,
the
you're at a prime age almost.
First thing we do with them, I mean, we got to bring this up because there's a lot of kids getting into fishing and getting into
Right.
boats. Is we make sure they do their boating safety classes first. They want to,
Right.
they get that card, and then we feel more confident, that they can go out there and run the boats. But Jackson did it. I think he was about 14 when you did your
yeah, I was
boating.
13, 14.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
yep.
You're getting like some
Avery's right
messages,
there.
like, dude,
yeah,
like
I'm
you're
so
getting like
bad at
sign.
sign language. I don't know what she's saying.
She about ready.
I think she said that. Okay, I did good.
You got
So-
the okay to go fishing next week. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Is that it? I got lots of brownie points. Yeah.
So what did you teach them that you think that you taught them? The one thing that you taught both of them that's helping them catch fish now. What is it? A very simple thing, or is it something that's more complex?
The first thing we like to teach kids is how to fish a Senko. I think once they
Oh,
learn
true that.
how to throw a Senko, then we move on to the drop shot.
Yes.
You master those 2 techniques, you can pretty much catch fish anywhere. And then after
Right.
that, it's evolving into some more power fishing techniques. And then
Yeah.
being a frog guy and a swim bait guy, I mean, they're not my children if they don't know how to throw them. So
I was going to get into who catches more fish on a frog when you go fishing. I look at both pointing at
He's
Fred.
probably he's the only one to stick with the frog the entire time. That's why.
Oh,
yeah, we're not talking more fish throughout the day. We're just talking about more on the frog. If we're being honest here, I might throw the frog and may catch 5-6 fish a day, but he's probably catching 20, 30, and they're doing their things, catching the numbers.
Yeah, but your frog fish are all bigger on average. So
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's why I like throwing it. And it's hard for me in these unlimited fish tournaments, right?
Right.
It's there's windows of opportunities. You really got to dial those windows down if you're going to pick up a frog in a Bass Pro Tour event.
Right.
When there's unlimited numbers. Now, 5 fish limit, I could throw it all day long and never put it down, and know that if I get 5 in the boat doing it, I'm probably having a better 5 average.
Right.
So I'm more competitive that way.
So if you guys got in the boat and we're fishing with him and he was eating a snack, what would it be? You can't answer. What would he snack on?
Crockett Creek beef jerky.
Beef
Yeah.
jerky? Does he
Either that
ever?
or deer meat?
Oh, deer meat?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
We had a
Oh
lot
boy,
of-
I want to
lot
go
of deer
fishing with you
sausage.
guys.
Anytime, you know that, Brad.
Man.
Have you ever spoiled them? Ever?
Never. We don't believe in.
Have you ever
spoiling
gave
our
them a
kids.
glide bait? Huh? Don't tell me they don't have a glide bait.
Okay, so it's not so much me
Okay,
giving them
yep.
to them; it's them taking them from me.
Yeah, you buy all these glide baits, and I see them sitting in the tackle room. I'm like, I'm gonna try that. And then I catch a fish on it, and then you're like, I guess you can keep it. And I'm like, sweet. So then I go throw another one and catch a fish on it.
Yeah,
And
he's
I'm like,
he's
I
really
guess
good
you
with
can
the
throw
glide
it.
bait. I almost feel like he's probably better at a glide bait than I am. And
Really?
I do more of a soft swim bait. And I'm good with it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But he's out there throwing it daily, and I'm using it,
Right.
under certain situations. So
If you had to give one secret about your dad away, what would it be? And you're next, unless he can't answer it quick enough. What's the one secret?
I don't know.
Does he sit around and watch football on Sunday afternoons when he should actually be mowing the lawn?
Oh,
Is there some kind of...
usually watching fishing at that
Yeah.
point.
Oh, all right. No secret, huh?
Man, I can't think of a secret at the moment.
see, I taught him well.
yeah, I guess.
Loose lips sink ships. They know better than say any secrets.
If you had to make them do one chore, and they had to do one chore at least once a week or every day, what would that chore be?
For it'd be different for both of them.
Okay, all right.
I'd say for Avery, the dishes. 'Cause
Wow.
he seems to
Wow.
well, he's in that growing stage where he's just eating everything we got, and,
Right.
and he's just constantly getting new dishes out, and he likes to cook as well. So,
Oh.
I think dishes would be great for you, and Jack, I think just cleaning your bass boat, dude.
Okay.
Keep it clean, wash it.
Oh.
It usually is clean. I just right now, man, especially fishing in that grass, you got all your soft plastics on the bait. You're ripping them off, throwing them down,
Right.
flipping a new one. And so, when I get back, that's what I need to
Yeah,
work
this
on.
whole floor is like
All
soft
blessed.
plastics.
Yeah, but it's like a trophy, You're like, I caught a 4-pounder on that bait right there. That one right there. I don't know how many fish I caught on that.
He used to take those and re-pour them and
Right.
make baits himself, but
Now he's
being
more-
sponsored by Yamamoto and stuff,
We just keep going.
we're not as frugal.
Jack, you're going to graduate. Where are you off to?
So I'm off to Murray State College in Oklahoma, being
Okay.
Tishomingo. It's a
Yep.
2-year college, and they have a great fishing team. They're a newer team, but
Okay.
I'm incredibly proud that I get to go there.
Is it on
Yeah.
scholarship?
It is on scholarship,
Sweet.
so it's even better.
Yeah.
But,
Look at Fred. He's like, yeah. He like cheered.
Hence why he gets to use a bass boat.
I got you.
And
Yeah. All right.
it saved me a little money. So
Yeah, I'm excited. They said they fish like 14 tournaments, 7 tournaments a semester, and I
Wow.
can fish a majority of them, so I'll be happy. And then I got a few championships I'm gonna be fishing this fall. Toyota Series Championship, hopefully.
Right.
The BFL Championship to make the All-American.
Right.
I got a few that I'm working on, and then I get to go to South Africa in December to fish
Wow.
and maybe make gold again. Be amazing.
That's
Or make
pretty
gold
awesome.
for the first time.
You know, your dad, he's got a bunch of gold
Yeah, he does.
gold trophies. Tell him what it's in. Tell him the event.
yeah, so I'm a member of the Black Bass World Championship Team USA,
Yeah.
and we've competed all over the world. We've competed in South Africa, Mexico, Portugal, Italy, in here in the United States, and
Yep.
one of the best events we've had as a team, I think, was actually here in the United States at Lake Murray back in October of 22.
Right.
And it was kind of cool because my boat of the team, and it's I feel like I'm bragging here, but I am. We actually was a clean sweep. We had big bass of the tournament.
Yeah.
We had the big stringer of the tournament. We had the overall nations, the overall.
Wow.
Yeah, there's I got 5 trophies and 5 gold medals, and it was insane in just one event.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, it was really neat. So, but yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be representing, and I'm humbled at the same time to be a member of the United States.
And you have a great team.
So
Usually,
our team is incredible.
Yeah,
We've
insanely good.
Yeah. So we got
Insanely.
Jacob Wheeler, Dustin Connell, Scott Canterbury, Scott Martin, myself. I had James Watson was my team partner in the ones we really did well in, and then we had I had Joey Fuentes this last year, and I got to fish with David Fritz, one of my all-time heroes. Yep. We got to do that in Portugal, and we were the 4th highest finishing team in that deal, so that was really cool. We won the overall gold as a team as well. So we've been pretty strong. This is the first year. Last year we went to Italy that we did not hit the podium, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that everybody's got the live scope now, and they're catching on, and it's making everybody a better fisherman. So
that's right.
It's getting harder and harder to take home the gold. So
that takes us up to Tackle Time. Tackle Time sponsored by PICO Lures. PICO Lures has a complete line of hard and soft bait. So if you want to catch a bass in America or over in France or Zimbabwe, you can order them online at picolures.com. Hey, if they want to check out what you guys are doing socially, where would they go?
Well, all of us have our own Instagram accounts now.
Okay.
Avery he's 2 days in.
All right.
And it's Avery Roumbanis. And then we got Jackson Roumbanis and then Fred Roumbanis. So our names are our handles, and you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. So
there you go. There you have it. Like I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.